Jules.
Hey, I am getting so excited. Guess what we're doing on Saturday?
Hey, once a month, every Saturday, tell us what we're doing, Sherry.
This month at Tier 1 Interventions Workshops, we are doing Jesse and Kay. Okay, what in the world is a Jesse and Kay?
I
Why?
know
Why are
Jesse and Kay, I are my imaginary friends that live in my garage. And what they do is help students understand mathematics in a contextual, conceptual way so that we can increase the complexity of math learning in the classroom, but in an accessible, adaptable way. How strong is your core? We're talking about your core regular classroom, tier one instruction. Jesse and Kay is one of our conceptual, contextual, adaptable reference tasks that are going to help differentiate instruction in the regular classroom without the necessity of pullout.
But if you do need to pull out, the occupational therapist really benefits from understanding this concept as well, because you can help support the math teacher with varieties of adaptive equipment, such as sponges. Like we use sponges for learning without tears. We can use those same sponges to help facilitate learning and under so kids can understand the concepts of their math using the same materials that we're using in literacy, but we're bringing them to a different level and we're including the math. So Jesse and Kay really is are it's a problem that helps help bring the kids together. So Jesse
Absolutely.
and Kay are out here, and when are they going to meet in the mathematical equation?
And Jesse and Kay is a perfect example of a rich, differentiated math task. However, with the collaboration that Sherry and I have, Sherry from the medical world, Sherry from the OT world, Sherry from the therapy world, Sherry from the adaptive world, John Lee from the mathematics learning perspective, both of us from the neuroscience, cognitive science world. Sherry's mentioning these sponges as being very tactile, as being very sensory driven. How do we use sponges to represent these contextual, conceptual problems? So you could find out this Saturday how we can use one problem to meet the needs, the math needs, and the emotional needs, the mental needs, the sensory needs of all students in the regular tier one classroom. And I think the biggest complaints of intervention specialists or occupational therapists or speech therapists or any other stakeholders that are serving kids in tier 2 and tier 3 intervention is oftentimes we're noticing that tier 1 doesn't have as many adaptations as it could to then enhance what we're doing in tier 2 and tier 3. You can find out this Saturday how to use one math lesson to do all of these things in every grade for every ability level of student. And Sherry and I together are going to help you understand how to adapt and how to respond to teaching. Our big theme this Saturday is responsive teaching. That's not always our theme, but we're going to use Jesse and Kay math task to help understand how to use responsive teaching as well.
So how do we get to, there we go. How do we get to find out more about joining us? Let me share my screen. You're going to look for in Disability Labs the course that says Miracle Math, Complete Tier 1 Interventions Workshops. We've already completed 6 of the tasks. We are working on number 7, and we're recording that on Saturday, but you can join us live. And that's the beautiful thing about what we're doing is we're recording these tasks live in front of you so you can ask the questions. And if you're there to get your questions answered, how much easier is that going to be than trying to track us down and answer them later?
By
So look,
coming live, you get personalized and customized coaching and teaching for you, the adult, the instructor that's going to be supporting the students. Being there live allows you to be very interactive with the content and get exactly what you need. And then we can customize and coach you to help you implement But have no fear, once we record those, they all go into the course modules and you have access to the entire course if you end up joining that level.
So, what do we have done already? We have some background information for you here in the first tier. Then we have non-academic interventions. So, you occupational therapists hear these words and know what they do every time: proprioception, vestibular, interoception. But teachers, you may not. So, that non-academic interventions is not just for the occupational therapist, it's for the teacher as well. It blends the two, the math and the non-math together so that you can understand what's going on with your students.
So, for
Then we
example, if you have
have,
kids with ADHD, you have kids with learning processing issues, you have kids that are constantly tapping their feet, you have kids that you maybe need a fidget, you have kids. What's happening in the non-academic interventions and every Saturday as we talk about the math in the regular classroom, and when I talk about these adaptations and differentiations, what's happening every Saturday is we're talking about the brain and body and how they must work together. And our instruction can actually cater to the brain and the body and help students with those adaptations, those non-academic interventions, so that we can give more kids more access to the math learning.
absolutely. We've already recorded for you the 120 chart, the pizza problem, making rectangles, paper folding, quick dots, and the locker problem. And we have bonus modules here for you just as well. So there is a lot of information for you already recorded, but you can rec you can be there live for this Saturday's event. So go to disabilitylabs.com/courses/tier -1 hyphen interventions hyphen workshops. We don't have to do the preview on that you won't necessarily, I'm previewing it now, but that is not necessary. So stop at workshops right there. I will put the link in the show notes after we are done live here. So please join us on Saturday for a mere $97 a month. You can have all this information. Stopping the share. Back to you, John Lee. Anything else that you want to add?
I do want to say, when you look at those modules and you look at those tasks, you're not going to have any idea what those are. Those are just named tasks. If you have been a part of our model and you've been trained on our model, you'll look at those tasks and you'll know what those are, because we've created kind of our own language of delivering math instruction. But there are actually only 12 tasks. We call them the dirty dozen at Minds on Math. There are 12 tasks that teach all standards from preschool through high school, the same 12 tasks for every single grade level. And the reason we name them is so that we can refer to them. They're called reference tasks. So we want kids experiencing these reference tasks multiple times a year. Sometimes it could just be 3 times a year, and sometimes for just 10 minutes each time. So these are tasks that don't take a lot of time, don't take a lot of effort, don't take a lot of planning, but span all of the content from preschool through high school. And we can do it with just 12 reference tasks. And if you join us every month, you can get the whole course and all 12 tasks to implement in your classroom.
Amazing. It's such a blessing to have found you and really been able to blend math with occupational therapy. And so anybody who's out there, whether you're listening here to us live right now or you are listening to the replay, we would love to have you join us on Saturday. That's 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, October 19th. I had to double check my date so I didn't say the wrong date. October 19th. That's correct. 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And you can learn who Jesse and Kay are, her imaginary friends in the garage.
Let's do it.
So long for now. See you next time.